Hey there, Nathan Tricky Allen here, the comedian magician guy, and today I'm going to teach you my top 20 favorite tricks to mess with your friends, freak out your relatives, irritate your coworkers, and win free drinks from complete strangers. Enjoy. Hey, Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. I'm just getting ready for a live show here, but I wanted to show you this. What you do is you reach towards something hot like an open flame or a stove or a campfire or something. Burn yourself to the point of blistering. Your friends are going to think you're a lunatic. You've got a blister already, but then you can just rub it and it disappears. And here's the thing, it didn't hurt or burn actually at all. There's two ways to do this without it hurting. The first way, my favorite, bunch of painkillers. Just take a bunch of painkillers. It doesn't hurt at all. Get them on the street if you have to. The other way, the more responsible one, is you use a house key. Just a normal house key off of the key ring with a round hole in it. Have this in your pocket. When you want to do the trick, reach into your pocket and press your finger really, really hard against the hole in that key, and then before long you'll have a very realistic looking blister on there. Of course, it's not a real burn, but you reach towards something hot, pretend to burn yourself, don't actually burn yourself, and then show your friends how you can heal yourself, and they're going to think you're a god of sorts. I got to run and go do that live show, but come back tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Hi, Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. This one is great for in the morning, in the kitchen, if you've had an overnight guest. You go into the kitchen and you decide to pour yourself some coffee. But before you pour too much, you change your mind and you decide that instead of just coffee, you decide that you want iced coffee. Instant iced coffee. And if the fact that you just did a magic trick first thing in the morning doesn't prompt that person to leave right away, then I don't know what to tell you. Invite me to the wedding, I guess. The way this is done is actually surprisingly simple. You just need some coffee, room temperature or cold. You don't want to use hot coffee for this. You're going to need a coffee mug. You're going to need some ice cubes made out of coffee. And the secret sneaky part, some kitchen sponges. Before you see your friend in the morning, just jam these down into the coffee mug so they're stuck down there nice and solid. And then throw your coffee ice cubes on top of it, just like so. And then when you see your friend, you just pour some coffee into the cup onto the sponge. The sponge absorbs the liquid and only ice cubes fall out. Pretty fun, right? Join me tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Hey, Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. This one is a quick Tricky Quickie. This one uses a burnt match. And did you know that a burnt match can actually be relit? Watch. Whoa. Okay, confession time. That actually wasn't a burnt match. That was actually a regular match that I had just colored with Sharpie. Fully covered the red head, let it dry, and when you strike it on the box, it will still light. Come back tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie.
Here's what it looks like. Your friends will freak out. They beg you to stop, but you're relentless. Then you laugh your most evil laugh. Is this real? No, it's just a trick. It's an illusion for both your eyes and your ears. You are not cracking your knuckles or pulling your fingers out of joint. Not even a little bit. It's just a trick. To do this, all you will need are your hands. Do you have hands? Of course you do. I apologize if you don't have hands. That was a little presumptuous and insensitive of me. So here are the instructions step by step. I'm filming over my shoulders so you can see everything the exact way I see it from my point of view. Now you're going to have both of your hands palms down, the backs of your hands up. With your right hand, grab one finger on your left hand. When you grab it, you need to go way down. You need a deep grip. You don't want to grab it up here at the top. You really want a deep grip. You got to slide that finger home. That didn't sound right. But anyway, the reason for the deep grip for the deep grip on your finger is so your right fingers are hidden beneath the palm of your left hand. Also, you're going to want to face the back of your left hand towards whoever you're performing this for, towards your friend. If your friend was standing over there, you would face everything that way, so they could not see these fingers down here. They would just see the back of your left hand. If your friend was over that way, well, then you would angle your hand back this way a little bit. If they were straight up and above you, you'd just have your hand parallel with the floor. Why would somebody be straight above you? That doesn't make any sense. Next, you're gonna do two things at once. The first thing you're gonna do is tug on that finger. Kind of an exaggerated tug, but you're not actually going to pull your finger. Be careful, I don't want you to actually hurt your finger. You're not actually cracking your knuckles or pulling your finger out of joint. This is just acting right here. Well, if you're dumb enough to actually hurt yourself, then go ahead and do it, but I'm just saying you don't need to. And at the same time, the right hand fingers down below your left palm right here are going to snap. Your thumb and middle finger on your right hand are going to snap. Oh, snap! But that is hidden as you are grabbing your left finger, and your snapping fingers on your right hand are hidden below your left palm. So from your friend's point of view, it looks like that. Now you combine the tugging, the exaggerated tugging, with the snapping, and it looks and sounds pretty convincing. When to do this little stunt? The opportunities are endless. You just have to use your imagination a little bit. The most common, obvious ways are anytime anybody mentions joint pain or arthritis. If your weird uncle asks you once again to pull my finger. Do it at your doctor's office during your next checkup. Just be like, hey, doc, is this normal? And he'll probably freak out. It'll be awesome. There are a couple of variations you can use with this knuckle popping idea. The first one is your neck, which looks something like this. It's the same idea. You grab your head, and behind your neck, your fingers snap. Oh, snap! As your left hand turns your head sideways a bit. Do not actually break your neck. Oh, and if you're a male who lives in a nudist colony, have I got a great idea for you. One last warning, do not actually hurt yourself by pulling your finger out of joint, because you could actually... Oh, shit.
Hey, Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. This is one you can do at home with a candle and a paper bag. This one is best if your friends see you do it, but you pretend like you don't know that they're watching you. So you have a candle, you light it, you blow it out, you put it into a paper bag. They're going to think that you've lost your marbles at this point, especially when you wiggle your fingers like you're a friggin' wizard or something. And then, believe it or not, bam, the candle disappears. It's magic, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do this at your house too. Now, if you don't want to know, spoiler alert, I'm going to show you, so you got to click away right now. If you do want to know, then follow me. We're going to go to my workshop because it's arts and crafts time. To do this, you're going to need some wax paper. You need about 18 or 20 inches of it, and you only need it to be about 8 or 9 inches wide. So go ahead and trim that down. Take a candle and roll it up inside the wax paper. Put some glue on the edge, just a dab will do you. You don't need much, so wipe off the excess. Roll the candle over so the paper glues to itself. Once it dries, you can remove the candle from the hollow paper tube, and you're going to cut off the top of the candle, the tip of the candle. I'm using a power saw because screw you, I like power saws. We just need the tip of the candle, just the tip. I feel like a moil.
What the hell is a moil?
A moil is the person that performs a circumcision.
And we don't need the rest of the candle, so you can throw that across the room. Put some glue onto the edge of the candle tip, and you're going to slide that inside the hollow paper, wax paper candle tube, add some more glue on top to fill in any gaps in the paper, wipe off the excess glue, let it dry, or make it dry. Trim that wick a little bit, light it up. You want to melt the end of the candle just a little bit, not the paper, but the actual candle wax part. I like to melt another candle over it so wax drips down the side, and you've got yourself a pretty realistic looking candle. That one's kind of messy. Now be careful, you're probably going to get some hot wax dripping on your hands, but if you're like me, then you like it anyway. Okay, so you take the candle, put it into a candle holder at your house or your apartment or whatever, and next time your friends are over, you decide you're going to light a candle, and then you're like, change my mind, blow it out, and you're going to put it into a paper bag. A little warning here, make sure there's no hot embers on the end of that candle wick, because there was this time, because I'm an idiot. And you're going to put it into the bag, and when you put it into the bag, I'm actually bending that candle in half as I put it in there, so it's all the way down in the bottom of the paper bag, just like so. And then you can just slowly but firmly crumple up that bag, and it looks like a solid candle has completely disappeared, and your friends are pretty sure that you're a wizard. Join me tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Tomorrow, not now, tomorrow. Nope, tomorrow. Nathan Tricky Allen here with another Tricky Quickie. This is one you can do with a candle. Not the same candle as the video from yesterday. Go back and watch that one and you'll see why. But this is a neat one. It's like a science trick that you can do with a candle at the dinner table. All you have to do is first blow the candle out, and then hold a flame in the trail of smoke. And it jumps right down. So how does it work? Science, I already told you that. Come back tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. You have a glass, a drinking glass from your kitchen. Das Boot! You have a towel, or a rag, or a handkerchief. Granny panties. You take the glass and you wrap the towel around it, and then you pick up a hammer. And you smash the shit out of that. Alright, you open it back up, and your friends are going to be paying attention now. You find a good piece, and you... And your friends can even examine your mouth. Nothing's there. You have eaten it. That's messed up. So what's really happening? Well, you're not eating broken glass. No, really? You're eating ice. Ice, baby. Din 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 din. You'll need to get some stuff ready before you can do this trick for your friends. You'll have to get some friends. First, you're going to need a flat plastic container. Put water in it, but you only want about 1/4 of an inch of water sitting in the bottom. Take this container with the water, put it into your freezer overnight. Din 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 din. When it freezes, you'll have a sheet of ice about 1/4 of an inch thick. Take the piece of ice and break it, cut it, smash it up. The idea is you want sharp looking edges, a lot like this. There's a good one right there. But once you get these broken up, take everything, put it into a Ziploc bag or another container, seal it shut, put it back in your freezer. You do not want these to melt. You want to retain the sharp edge, glass shard looking effect. You will also need a drinking glass, Das Boot, a hammer, din 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 din, and a towel. Don't forget to bring a towel. When you approach your friends, you're already holding the piece of ice, the shard of glass looking piece of ice behind your towel, right about here. Now I'm turning sideways. Your friends would be over in that direction. You're holding it right here. You set the glass down. You can have the hammer in your pocket or whatever. Is that a hammer in your pocket, or you set the glass down on the table? You snap the towel a couple of times. You lay it down
It got laid. You keep hold of the piece of ice right here. Again, your friends are over there. They do not know about the piece of ice. You take the glass, tap it on the table a couple of times, lay it down, laid. You start to wrap the towel around it. As you do, you drop the piece of ice, drop it like it's hot, beside the glass. Drop it like it's hot. In one continuous motion as you are wrapping the towel around the glass, just like this. And then you pick up the hammer, you smash the shit out of that. It's still alive. Din, 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 din. When you open it up, you immediately look for the piece of ice. You pick up the ice, and when you're holding it, you give it the once over, you brush it around the edges and the sides a few times to make sure no tiny pieces of glass are stuck to it. Do not eat glass. And then you pop it into your mouth and loudly chew it. Now you do not have to use a drinking glass. You could smash a car's headlight. You could punch out a window. You could break your crack pipe. Please be very, very careful. Do not eat glass. Before you put that piece of ice in your mouth, look at it, feel it. Make sure there are no tiny pieces of real glass stuck to it before you eat it. Here's the official warning. Do not eat glass. Do not eat glass. Is that clear enough?
Hi, Nathan Tricky Allen here with a tricky quickie. Here's a trick you can do is fool your friends. You have something written down under a piece of tape or folded into a piece of paper. You have 1 through 16 written down in 4 columns and 4 rows. You have them think of one number and circle it. Let's say they go with 6. You have them cross out that entire column and that entire row. And now circle another number that isn't crossed out or circled. Let's say they go with 11. Do the same thing. Cross out that entire column, entire row. Do the same thing. One that's not written or one that's not circled or crossed out yet. Let's say they go with 4. Cross out that entire column, entire row, and we're left with 13. So we add up these 4 numbers, 13, 11, 6, and 4, and we get 34, right? Check this out. Underneath this piece of tape, bam, 34. Just like that. And get this, it works every time. All those numbers add up to 34. All those numbers add up to 34. All those numbers add up to 34. 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 You get it. Have fun with that. Visit me on the interwebs, adultsonlymagic.com. Hey, Nathan Tricky Allen here with another tricky quickie. For this one, if you want to mess with your friends, you tell them that Sharpie is now making markers that are actually magnetic. The caps are magnetic. If they don't believe you, just show them. You just magnetize it a little bit like this, and then you get it close, and magnet snaps it right back on. Of course, when your friend tries it, the cap's just going to drop on the ground. The way this works is called the watermelon seed principle. Have you ever taken a wet watermelon seed, squeezed it between your fingers, and it shoots across the room at your friend or your grandma? Well, that's what we're doing with the Sharpie marker. We're just going to be using the Sharpie cap, and you might want to wet your fingers a little bit, so it's a little bit slipperier. Then you catch it, and when you squeeze it, it's just going to shoot. But don't shoot that at your friend or your grandma. You're just going to want to do the marker thing, and you just squeeze, ding, ding, ding. Come back tomorrow for another tricky quickie. I think I'm going to put that sign over my bed. Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. This one uses a match, a regular wooden match. I'll give you a good look at that. There you go. And we're going to lay it in the center of this handkerchief. This is going to freak your friends out a little bit when you do it. You just wrap the match up inside the handkerchief and then find it, and you hand the match to your friend and have them break it. They can feel it, they can hear it, snap in half. And then you magic fingers it. You unfold the handkerchief, and the match is as good as new. The way this works is pretty clever. You have a match, a handkerchief, and you have a second match. You haven't seen the second match. That's because it's hidden inside the hem of this handkerchief, right inside there. So when you have the match in the center of the handkerchief, the visible one, you fold the handkerchief around it, you find the second match, the one that's hidden inside, have your friend break that one, and now when you unfold the handkerchief, it looks like the match has restored itself like magic. Come back tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Hey, Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. I'm going to show you how to multiply your money times 50. Don't get excited, we're just using small numbers. We've got a penny here and otherwise empty hands, and we squeeze the penny and bam, multiplied it by 50. Nice. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's actually pretty easy, but you can only really do it for like one person at a time. But you need 2 quarters and a penny. Now it's all about the setup. You do this when nobody's looking. You have the 2 quarters stacked together on their edge so they're flat with the ground. Then you hide that with the penny. And that's what you show to your friend. If they were over there, it would look like this to you. Right? And then all you have to do is just come in, cover up all the coins, pinch the penny behind one of the quarters, and show your friends that you're a financial genius. Come back tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Zombies are popular right now, and you probably have that one friend who is damn certain that the zombie apocalypse is actually gonna happen, right? Well, I'm gonna help you fuck with him. I have an audio track. It's an MP3. You can download it, burn it onto a CD, whatever. And you wait until your friends are over at your house, and maybe they're playing cards, maybe they're just having a couple beers, maybe they're having a circle jerk, I don't know. But what you do is you wait until they're all hanging out, and then you walk over to your music player, whether it's your CD player or just your iPod or whatever, and you play this audio track. And you don't make a big deal out of it. You just go over and push play, because it sounds like you just turned on a radio station, a classic rock radio station. It's got music and commercials and jingles and station IDs and all that shit. And then about 5 minutes into it, the official emergency alert system starts to sound, right? And the official emergency voice tells people that the Center for Disease Control has confirmed, without ever actually saying the word zombie, that the zombie apocalypse is happening and that they're probably already infected.
This is not a test. The Center for Disease Control has confirmed the existence and spread of a highly contagious disease called ZV-09. This highly contagious degenerative brain virus is transmitted through blood, saliva, and other bodily fluids of the infected, and
saying that the virus is already spreading and it's making people confused and psychotic and homicidal and cannibalistic.
Early symptoms include nausea, confusion, short temper, and loss of balance and coordination. Mid and late stage symptoms of the disease include violent unprovoked attacks and the uncontrollable urge to consume raw meat, up to and including homicide and cannibalism.
And it's being spread by something that they're probably drinking right now.
If you have consumed beverages purchased in the past 4 days, produced by Coca-Cola Beverage Company, Pepsi Beverage Company, Miller Brewing Company, or Anheuser-Busch Brewing Company, there is a high likelihood that you are infected.
It even goes so far as to say that the motherfucking police are gonna kill their ass.
Martial law is in effect in all 50 states.
So this is probably illegal as hell.
There is no known cure, and to control the spread of this highly contagious disease, authorities have been ordered to terminate any person or persons who appear to have contracted the virus.
And here's the best part, you can get it and get it now. But please be careful with this. Do not play this for somebody who's prone to flipping the fuck out. Do not play this for somebody who is kind of psychotic and has a concealed carry permit. And afterwards, please tell them that it was just a joke and that they do not actually have to follow the official instructions of locking themselves in their basement and waiting until further notice. Okay? Okay. So go now to adultsonlymagic.com/zombies. And download yours now. And if you want to make me really happy, secretly record their reactions when you do it for your friends. Zoom in on their face, because they're gonna fake being all tough, but their eyes will tell. You'll be able to tell they're freaked out. It's really fun. So go over adultsonlymagic.com/zombies to get your copy now. I gotta go. And that website, once again, if you want to get that zombie prank download, is adultsonlymagic.com/zombies. Hey there, Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. This one uses something that most of you probably have in your pocket right now, a dollar bill, just a piece of U.S. currency. If you're from another country, that doesn't matter. Any country's currency will do, but you take the bill and you fold it the long way, and then you fold it a little bit the long way again, and what you're about to see is probably going to freak you out a little bit, and when you do it to your friends, it's going to freak them out too. You just hold it, balance it carefully on your thumbs, and then weird, right? And then you can throw it at them. They can check it out. Your thumbs have nothing sticky on them. Your friends will never be able to do it. They'll just constantly be like, what the hell, man? So the way you do this, you do need a dollar bill, yes, but you also need a quarter, just a coin. And when you start, you already have the quarter behind your bill. You may have noticed that I turned the bill around a couple of times to show it. All I was doing there was just keeping the quarter between my thumb and the dollar bill. You go to eventually fold it, and now you got the quarter inside there, and then you fold this edge a little bit. That makes it so the quarter doesn't fall out. You got the quarter right over here inside the bill. You balance it on your fingers and carefully take one away, and because the quarter is over here, it stays there balanced. It looks eerie as hell. When you go to finish up, you just grab it like that, turn your hand up, and as you extend the bill towards your friend, you just let go pressure of the coin inside the bill. It slides into your hand. They take the bill, and while they check the bill out or mess with it, you can just casually put the coin into your pocket, and you look like a genius. Come back tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Hey, Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. This one is sort of one of those bar trick riddle challenge things that again might be able to win you a free drink or two if you do it right. Here's the riddle. In my hand, there are 3 coins. The total of them is 35 cents, but one of them is not a nickel. You want to pause the video and think about it for a little bit? I have 3 coins, the total is 35 cents, and one of them is not a nickel. Give up? It's a quarter and 2 nickels. But you said one of them wasn't a nickel. Yeah, I said one of them was not a nickel. That's the one, the quarter. Come back tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nathan Allen. I'm the the magician guy. And what's your name? Oh, you're being shy right now. This is Lillian Rose. This is my daughter. She's just a little bit over 2 years old. Say hi, Lillian. Today we are going to teach you how to eat glue. This is something I do in my... Really? Good stuffs? Really? You're a weird kid, you know that? Bill Cosby's a verb now. How great is that? You're a party animal, Dewey. Let's see how far Dewey will go. Your turn. Got it on your nose. A little bit on your chin. Can I get some too? You got some at the corner of your mouth. Here, I'll turn the corner around. That's a familiar sensation, isn't it? Magic show. Well, bye. You need a drink? No, that's whiskey. Hold on. So the thing is, that's not real glue, obviously. What that actually is frosting, cake frosting. It's, I use Betty Crocker whipped fluffy white frosting. That's my favorite. You just crack that bitch open. Don't say bitch. Okay. Want to dip your finger in there? I won't tell it. I won't tell Mom. Mom's not home right now, so we can do this. You just... You just go knuckles deep in that, huh? Whip that up a bit, stir that up a bit, just so it's not some solid chunk. Right when you want it. It is good stuff, isn't it? Help me stir that. You are a terrible stirrer. No, it's not ice cream. You're also going to need a Ziploc baggie. Girl, all right. Can you hold on to this? Okay. And you're gonna take your frosting, your straight frosting, your uncut frosting, and you're gonna drop a whole bunch of that crap into your Ziploc bag. Don't eat it. You've had enough sugar today, probably. So eventually you're going to... Stop eating that. Eventually you're gonna have a bunch of frosting in a Ziploc. Stop eating that. Eventually you're gonna have a bunch of frosting in a Ziploc bag. A bunch of frosting in a Ziploc bag. Here, let me take that away. You're gonna have a bunch of frosting in your Ziploc bag, and the goal was to try to not be messy, but I screwed that up something terrible. You're gonna squish it up a little bit more, squish it up, and you're just gonna hit that frosting with a tiny bit of water. You want it to turn into the consistency of glue. You got some glue on your face. And snip just a tiny corner off, just at the most a 1/4 inch. You're gonna want to take a regular glue bottle, dump the glue out, and wash it really well. And if you're having trouble getting the stuff in there that's stuck on, you're gonna want to use rice, uncooked rice. So could you hold on to that for me, Lily girl? You're gonna want to dump a little bit of rice into that glue bottle. And then put some water in there and put the cap on and shake it up. And the uncooked rice is really gonna help you scrub the stuff out of the inside. I'm sorry. So you've got your glue container all cleaned up. You've got your Ziploc bag of frosting cup with water mixed up with the corner cut off, and you're going to very carefully aim the corner. Be very careful about this, especially if you're doing it over top of a toddler. You're going to want to fill it up about 3/4 or so, half, 3/4 or so, because you do want to have some room to shake it up, to mix it up, because the water and the frosting is going to separate after a little bit. You want to put the lid on? Make sure the top is screwed shut, and then shake it up, and if everything works right, if it's the right consistency, you should be able to eat glue. Now, I use this on stage to screw with people. If you want, you can sneak one of these in your pocket into a store.
Scene one, Apple, take one.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
It's also fun to keep one of these at home. So when your friends are over, when they're playing cards or having a couple beers or whatever, you just pull this out and just nonchalantly start chugging the glue. Freaks them out. That's a lot of fun. She's cleaning up the mess. So this is just Betty Crocker frosting cut with a little bit of water, and to keep it fresh, I mean it's not terribly volatile, but to keep it fresh, I do throw it in the refrigerator. When you refrigerate it, it's gonna get firm and hard. So if you got people coming over, just go ahead and pull it out of the refrigerator and let it sit out on the counter or in your junk drawer where the actual real glue is. Word of advice, if you're gonna do this and you actually have real glue, you may want to write the word glue in a Sharpie on the actual glue bottle that you have in the drawer like we do in my family, because I've messed up before. Give me some money. What do you got? Is that 100? Sweet. You get a reward. Thanks for watching. Have fun with eating glue. Say bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye.
See you soon. Did you just belch? Nathan Tricky Allen here with another Tricky Quickie. This is a prank that once you set it up, will just keep going on and on and on for the rest of time. Check it out. You're going to need some coins and some 2-part epoxy. That's JB Weld. Let's do this. Mix up your epoxy, preferably with a stick that doesn't break, and apply a thin layer of that epoxy onto each one of your coins and carry them outside somewhere, preferably somewhere you can see from your apartment or your house. This just happens to be a bank across the street. Glue the coins to the ground. The idea is every time somebody walks by, they're going to try to pick up the money, but they can't because it's glued to the friggin' sidewalk. As expected, a lot of people just walked by it without noticing him, including that cat. That cat is suspect, but sometimes people, okay, oftentimes people will actually try. Maybe if you kick it, try kicking it. Maybe if he kicks it, there you go. Maybe if you stare at it. And yes, I do plan on eventually removing those coins. Join me tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Hey, Nathan Tricky Allen here. It's time for another Tricky Quickie. This one is more of a bar trick, like a riddle, a game, a challenge that could, if you word it right, probably win you a free drink or two. Ding! By the way, these koozies, for my next trick, I'm going to make this beer disappear. Those are available on my website. adultsonlymagic.com. So the idea of the game, the challenge, is to pick the rope up and without letting go of the ends at all, tie it into a legit knot, like an overhand normal knot. You can pause the video and try it at home if you want. Give up? It can't be done unless you cross your arms first and then pick up the ends of the string. And as you uncross your arms, you get a knot. Sneaky. Come back tomorrow for another Tricky Quickie. Hi. Welcome to the card trick that wins you free drinks. This is a card trick that wins you free drinks, hence the title. This trick is, for lack of a better term, a con, a scam, a hustle. You cheat, but it'll win you a free drink each and every time you do it, provided you don't screw it up, of course, but we'll talk about that later too. First, I'm going to show you what the trick looks like, the effect, what it looks like to your friend, and then I'll teach you step-by-step instructions on how to do the trick, the scam, so you can go out tonight and get a free drink or three. And most importantly, I'll tell you how to not get your ass kicked when you're doing this. Ready? Let's get started. Now, please pull one card out of there. Pick a card, any card. Look at it, remember what it is. Don't show it to me, but show it to the camera. I'll turn around. Alrighty. And cut the deck in half, kind of close to even if you can. And once you've done that, pick the card up that you chose and look at it again, remember what it is again, and then set it back right there, and then put the entire rest of the deck on top of it so it's buried in the middle somewhere, and then square it up so I can't see it sticking out. Good, good, good. And now cut the deck again, but not in the same spot. That would make it too easy for me. And then complete the cut. And then do the same thing again. Cut the deck and then complete the cut again. Alright, now here's the deal. I'm going to try to read your mind and know what cards you picked. I'm getting pretty good at this. So I'm going to start dealing the cards out onto the table. And when I get to your card, I will know it. So don't tell me when I get to it, because I will know it. So here we go. Don't say anything when I get to it, just keep thinking of your card really strongly. And when I get to it, I will know. Okay, I have a strong impression right now. The next card I turn over will be your card. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Without even knowing what it is. The next drink, bet a beer. All right, the next card I turn over will be your card. Yes,
Absurd.
You want to know how it's done?
Yes.
This is my wife, Sarah, by the way, but I don't, we didn't set this up. I just asked her if she wanted to do a card trick on camera earlier, and she was game for it. So you don't actually have to know what card the person picked, but you do have to know another card. And the card you have to know, I will show you in just a second. Because you can have them shuffle it. It can be a borrowed deck if you want. The card you need to know is this card on the bottom of the deck. In this case, it's the 6 of clubs. You just casually look at that when you're picking it up. So yeah, if you need a reason to pick it up, just pretend like, okay, we gotta make sure it's square. Or my favorite excuse is to shuffle them again and then square them up. Tap them towards myself so you can get a good look. Boom, boom, right there. In real time, it looks like just shuffle, shuffle, tap, and you already know what it is. And you can do all this while you're talking to them or doing something else or taking a drink with one hand, whatever you want to do. But anyway, you look at that card, the bottom card, the 6 of clubs in this case. Remember that card, but don't say anything about it. And then you just spread them out and you have them choose a card. It can be any card at all. You do not have to know what this card is. Only they have to know what this card is. Look at it, remember it, show it to the camera again. Once again, I won't peek. Be sure to tell them a couple of times to look at it and remember it, and then show it to your friends. And the reason you do this is twofold. Number one, they will feel more involved in what's going on in the trick, but also there's a pretty good chance that whoever you're doing the trick for directly is going to forget the card. So if you get to the end of the trick and they're like, I don't remember there's really nowhere to go from there. So show it to your friends, look at it, remember it, and show it to your friends. Alrighty, and so the card you know as the tricky bastard is on the bottom of the deck right now. You have your friend cut the deck in half, kind of close to even, and then pick up the card that they chose and put it onto the original top half of the deck. And then you have them complete the cut, putting all the other cards on top of their card, burying their card in the middle. But look what happens here. What card goes directly on top of their card is the card that you remembered. In this case, the 6 of clubs. So you know that the 6 of clubs, the very card below that, is going to be their card. Now you can have them cut the deck at this point. But remember, all you have to remember is the 6 of clubs, or whatever your bottom card of the deck is. I like to pick the cards up, square it up while I'm talking and BSing, just to make sure my 6 of clubs isn't on the very top or the very bottom. This is just for dramatic effect. It seems better if you get a few cards into it somewhere in the middle. So at this point you start making a big deal out of how you're going to read their mind, and you're just going to get an impression. You're going to know when you get to their card. And you got to keep saying, don't tell me when I get to it, because I will know. I will know when I get to it. But what you're looking for while you're idly chit-chatting about knowing what card it's going to be, you're looking for your 6 of clubs. And eventually you're going to get to it, but when you get to it, do not say anything and do not pause at all. Just keep dealing. And keep reminding them to not tell you when you get to their card. So we just passed the 6 of clubs, so we know that the very next card is going to be the 2 of diamonds, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but you keep dealing past that several cards, and then all of a sudden you stop. This is where acting ability is going to come in kind of handy. You stop, and even though you know that the card just to the right of your memorized card, the 6 of clubs, the 2 of diamonds in this case, is their card, you keep dealing past it, and then you stop. You hold the rest of the cards in your hand, and I like to wiggle it around a little bit as I say, the very next card I turn over will be your card. Do not actually say that this card will be your card. Say the very next card I turn over, while you're kind of fingering it a little bit like this. Let them make the assumption. At this point, get cocky and be like, I'm really good at this. You want to bet a beer? Or you can bet a buck, or you can bet a blowjob or a shot, whatever you want to do. But after you get them to agree to it, and they think you screwed up because they see their card on the table and they think you're talking about turning over this card. So they're pretty confident. They're going to go ahead and take the bet because they're confident that you're going to screw up and that they're going to win. That's where the term con game comes from, using the sucker's confidence against him. Fun fact. So, like to bet a drink, all right? And at this point, you repeat, the very next card I turn over will be your card. And you reach over to the card that you know is theirs, and boom. Now, you're going to need a likable personality to successfully pull this off. Being a douche, especially in this type of situation, is a surefire way to get your nose broken. In fact, after I do the trick and they're about to buy me a drink, I like to stop them and grin and confess that I cheated and kind of make a half-assed attempt to stop them from buying me a drink. Like, no, 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 you don't have to do that. It was a card trick. I cheated. That kind of thing. The great thing is, if your heart is in the right place, they're going to buy you a drink anyway, but they're not going to buy you a drink because you conned them and won. They're going to buy you a drink because they were entertained by what happened, especially if you turn around and show them how to do the trick too. Occasionally, if you do this trick often enough, you're going to get insanely lucky. You're going to get some person who thinks they're screwing you up by choosing the bottom card of the pile of cards when you have them pick a card. For example, if you looked at and remembered the King of Spades and they reached over when you asked them to pick a card and actually pulled that bottom card out, you are so golden right now because you know exactly what card they're holding. If that happens, I like to veer off in a different direction and not do the original trick that I was planning on doing, the card trick that wins you free drinks. Instead, I like to hand them the entire deck of cards along with the card that they're already holding, for example, the King of Spades. I let them shuffle the card into the deck. I don't touch the cards again, and then I get real intense and I have them look into my eyes and I just start rattling off the names of cards, just real psychotic babble-like. So if they were looking at and thinking of the King of Spades, I would get up in their grill and be like, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king, 10, jack, queen, king, 9, 10, jack, queen, king, red, black, red, black, red, black, 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 red, 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 jack, queen, king, queen, king, black, diamonds, hearts, spades, clubs, clubs, spades, queen, king, king of spades. You are thinking of the King of Spades. And they kind of freak out. It's awesome. But sometimes shit happens. You're gonna mess this trick up. It happens to me occasionally too. Maybe your friend forgot the card, which is why you always have them show their friends. So just in case they do forget, their friends can be like, oh no, that was the card. Sometimes people accidentally shuffle the cards when you tell them to cut the cards. Sometimes they do multiple cuts. That's why you only want the regular cut, the 2-section cut. And sometimes the cards will get dropped or accidentally batted across the table and it messes them up that way. If that happens, don't stress out. This is just a trick. The only thing at stake is one drink. Just continue with the trick and hope for the best. If you get lucky, great. If you screw it up and you turn over the wrong card at the end, big deal. Just buy the person a drink and just recoup your losses later on in the night by doing the trick for somebody else. Remember, it's not whether you win or lose. It's how buzzed you get by closing time. The abbreviated version instructions, shuffle real quick. You have them shuffle, good. One way or another, you glimpse the bottom card. You have them pick a card. They pull that card out. You cut the deck. You want that card to end up on the original top, so the card that you remembered secretly goes on top. And you can have them cut the cards a couple of times if they like. Several times so they think the card is hopelessly lost in the deck. You pick it up, get cocky. I'm gonna know when I get to your card. Don't tell me when I get to it. I'm gonna start dealing them out and I will know exactly when I get to your card. So don't say anything because I'm gonna know. It's like ESPN or something. The very next card I turn over will be your card. The very next card I turn over will be your card. Wanna bet, buy a beer, do whatever you wanna do, boom, boom, boom. The very next card I turn over will be your card.
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
Hey, my name's Nathan Allen, and beneath this table, I'm not wearing any pants.
Take 2.
My name is Nathan Allen, and I'm going to show you a fun trick that I use all the time, and I'm going to show you how you can do it too to screw with your friends. It does take a special something, so I am going to show you both how to make it at home or exactly where to buy the finished product if you want to save some time, some money, and some hassle. Spoiler alert, it's going to be from me, but we'll get to that in a second. First, here is a clip of me doing it at a comedy club.
Magic show. That was fun. Here's what you can actually do. Take this home and use it to screw with your family. Take a balloon and fill it with air. You may want to use a different brand of balloon. Or not, I don't know your family, whatever. Holy shit. Ladies, your man said the regular size just wouldn't fit. Do a little whistle in my mouth. I was just fucking with you.
So yeah, it's just a tiny secret little whistle thing in your mouth. I'm gonna show you next how you can build this at home, and then I'm gonna tell you exactly how you can buy one of these finished products ready to rock if you just want to save some time, money, hassle. But here's the how-to video.
I'm gonna show you how to make whatever you want to squeak, squeak. In your everyday life to really mess with people's heads.
Is this supposed to happen?
What the hell? I've never heard anything like that.
And you can squeak anywhere. It's a lot of fun. You'll enjoy this. The secret is you have a little whistle in your mouth, a little squeaker. This comes directly from the squeaky part of a squeaky dog toy. The interior squeaky part of a dog toy looks a lot like this. Remove the squeaker from the dog toy. Once you get the squeaking device out of the dog toy, you're going to need to carefully remove the sack. Remove the sack, really? You'll be left with just this little tube. This is the actual whistle piece. This gets placed on your tongue in your mouth. Like where else? Of course your tongue is in your mouth. And you covertly squeak as you touch, prod, poke, squeeze, other things. But you've got to be sneaky about it. You can't draw attention to the fact that you're actually doing it with your mouth. Do it with your mouth. I forgot what I was gonna say. It sounds cliche, but the possibilities for squeaking are limited only by your imagination. It doesn't just sound cliche, it is cliche. Squeak when you get married. Squeak during your honeymoon. Squeak when you get divorced. Squeak when you get remarried. Squeak when that marriage fails too. Squeak when you decide to end it all. There should have been a great David Carradine joke there, but I was too lazy to write it. Squeak when you come back from the dead as a zombie.
So yeah, you can make this little squeaky whistle thing happen for free if you've got like an old dog toy laying around at home. But maybe you don't want dog germs in your mouth. I mean, they say that a dog mouth is cleaner than a human mouth, but I think that might be a myth because, I mean, dogs don't brush their teeth very often and they use their tongue as toilet paper. So the next logical thing is to go out and buy a squeaky dog toy and cut this special thing out of it. But then if you screw it up, you're gonna have to go out and buy another $5 or $6 dog toy or whatever and keep doing that till you get it right, or you could stab your hand with a steak knife or whatever. So if you'd like to save some time, money, and hassle, you can actually get this directly from me. It's the official Nathan Allen mouth squeaker. There is a link in the description of this video, wherever the text is. Look, I don't know, just look for the damn text. Find the link and you can order these directly from me. Now the ones you're gonna get from me, I have not had these in my mouth. All right, these are factory fresh, double sealed for your protection. I mean, if you're a freak, I'll put it in my mouth for a few extra bucks. When you receive this from me, it also, in addition to the squeaker itself, the little mouth squeaker thing, it also comes with a couple of pages of instructions with like a dozen more crazy ass ideas you can use with this. I carry one of these little bastards with me everywhere in my pocket. My favorite way to use this is to put it in your mouth, and when you're walking through like a store like Walmart or whatever, you just squeak with your mouth obviously, but you squeak every time you take a step with one foot. I told you I wasn't wearing pants. Don't act surprised. You can walk right out the damn door of Walmart with any kind of merchandise you want for free because they're not even paying attention to you. They're watching your damn squeaky shoe. Another favorite is if you're at a restaurant and they've brought your food and then you can see the server coming back to ask how your meal is so far. You stick this in your mouth real quick before they get there, and when they ask, how's everything tasting so far, you just take your knife and fork and just like poke your steak or whatever and just look at them like, it's a little rubbery. Jesus Christ, Nathan. If you're hanging out at like a house party or at a bar, squeak every time you crack open a beer. Pretend like nothing happened, deny knowing what the hell your friends are talking about when they bring it up, and just watch them slowly lose their shit throughout the evening. Click the link in the description to go ahead and order yours already pre-made and sealed up, and have fun with this, and we'll talk soon.
That website, once again, if you want to order the squeakers directly from me, is adultsonlymagic.com/squeak. I hope you enjoyed learning these tricks, and I hope to see you at a live show someday.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan